Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to make this video unlisted, and if you're watching this, then you are the small few that should kind of get an idea or try to, I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to get more information about the drama that happened between Isaac J. Miller from the Daily Archetype, Brandon Hayes from the Propertarian Institute, and James Jenko, who's just a regular dude that appears on the Daily Archetype. He used to appear on the Daily Discussion and the Archive now. So, the reason why I'm posting this video is because the fact that I'm very disappointed in Isaac J. Miller from the Daily Archetype, because how can you surround yourself with people who call themselves classical liberals and you play this game of name calling people? Now, if you guys don't know that the relationship between me and Isaac, we're not friends. I'm just gonna make it clear. He disrespected me last year back in probably around October. We're not friends, and I'm gonna show you the introduction that he did, that he took from, well, he didn't necessarily take because I gave it to him, the audio, so he can post on his podcast and my podcast at the same time, because we agreed to that. If you listen to our most recent one that we did together, that we agreed to do that. So I sent him the audio that I did, the audio that we recorded with April Rose. We talked about the Propertarians and stuff like that, the introduction, which I'm going to show to you. But Isaac and I, our relationship ended a long time ago. Our friendship, it's done. So I don't know why he recorded into an introduction that I'm going to show you that we are cool. We're not cool. He stepped over my boundaries. And as a person, myself, the moment that you disrespect my boundaries, the moment that you stepped over and do something that fucked me over, then I'm not going to be your friend anymore. It's done. But anyways, about 3 weeks ago, and I'm gonna say this, I'm going to testify the best of my ability, and I got that from Brandon Hayes from the Propertarian Institute, because he did it with I believe Jordan Hall or David Fuller, where he said that, and I thought that was pretty interesting, so I stole that from him. I'm telling the truth. But anyways, about 3 weeks ago, James Jenko reached out to Isaac J. Miller from the Daily Archetype to host a discussion and debate with Brandon Hayes from the Propertarian Institute. If you don't know who Brandon Hayes is, you guys can go to my YouTube channel, and I talk with him and Sean Seberg, a mutual friend of ours, and you can just tell, Brandon's a cool guy in my personal opinion. I like him. I think he's the funniest dude in the fucking planet in my eyes, because the fact that he gets me. Besides politics, I like the dude. Okay. So I'm going to openly admit that there's going to be some biases, okay? And I'm not afraid to admit that. So anyways, James Jenko reach out to Isaac from the Daily Archetype. Sorry, guys, I'm having a migraine at the moment. And he asked Isaac J. Miller to host a discussion and debate. Because James wants to, I guess, get more information about the Propertarian Institute and what they're all about. So anyways, in the beginning of that video, so if you guys don't know this, I was the one who showed up. I wasn't there watching the live thing, but I showed up near the last 20 minutes or so when it went sour. When it just, I don't know, it was a fucking train wreck. So anyways, nobody was arguing the majority of the time. So I watched the video, because Isaac sent it to me and another mutual friend, BJ. And he brought us into it. Well, as a person who have been called white supremacist, who has been called an honorary Asian, who has been called like a Nazi multiple times, when you say that to somebody like me, and you say, well, these guys are fucking Nazis and white supremacists, blah, 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 white nationalists, blah, 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 you're going to have to prove it to me, okay? Because I've been hearing 4 years about white nationalism, white supremacists and stuff like that, Nazis, for 4 years. So I'm sick and tired at this point. So you're going to have to prove it to me. And I've always been like that. I'm a person who wants to judge fairly. So I watched the video 3 times. And that's a lot of my time taken away. BJ did not watch the video. He's too busy. So anyways, I watched it 3 times just to get a verdict about what happened. And on top of that, I was there live on that Sunday evening. Yeah, it was Sunday evening. And I was in the chat. If Isaac J. Miller posts that video, I was in the chat and I said, cut the feed, try next time. Okay? And it was a guilty verdict for Isaac. As a host, as a moderator, you have to not interject your opinion. When there's 2 people, even if they agree with each other on certain aspects, okay? Even if they agree, I go, you don't jump in and interject your opinions or anything like that. You don't interrupt them when you are the host and the guest, because that's not what you do. That's not your job. And for Isaac to get offended that they got, it wasn't even, how can I say this? It wasn't even Brandon Hayes for the Propertarian Institute that corrected Isaac behavior. So near the ending, it was James Jenko, by the way. Near the ending, they were talking about culture. And for about an hour and 46 minutes or so, you could just tell it was just Isaac was just being, he just inserted his opinions in certain places. He was being fucking rude. Okay, that's just my observation. If he released a video, you guys can come with your own conclusion, because I really don't give a fuck at this point. They were talking about ethnocentrism. So they were talking about culture. And ethnocentrism in social science and anthropology, as well as colloquial English discourse, means to apply as one's own culture or ethnicity as a frame of reference to judge other cultures, practices, behaviors, beliefs, and people instead of using the standards of the particular culture involved. I know I'm reading too fast, but since the judgment is often negative, some people also use the term to refer to the belief that one's culture is superior to, or more correct or normal than others, not others. Especially regarding the distinctions that define each ethnicity's culture identity, such as language, behavior, customs, and religion. In common usage, it also simply means any cultural bias judgment. For example, ethnocentrism can be seen in common portrayals of the global South and global North. So they were talking about this, and they were talking about ethnocentrism is related to racism, stereotyping, discrimination, xenophobia, blah, blah, and it goes so on and so on. So I get where Isaac kind of flipped the fuck out, okay? When you hang out with people who call themselves classical liberals, I call myself a classical liberal too. When you hang out with us, you have to remember that we're going to be exposed to ideas that's going to be controversial. So when you're talking about culture, you're getting to the sensitive aspect of things, okay? Brandon and James did not bring race one bit, okay? And I'm going to say this again. Brandon and James did not bring race one bit. It was Isaac who brought up race into the discussion. And then all of a sudden, James Jacob was talking about culture. And then Isaac was bringing up about his Korean wife. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then he brought up about food, that he lives in Orange County, and then that he's, food and culture. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I don't know his point. Even Brandon and James didn't know what the hell why he was flipping the fuck out, right? So anyways, it went south, and that was the topic. Pretty much, I think, and this is for Isaac to do whatever he wants to say, I think Isaac was making the argument that different cultures can coexist. Okay? I think that's the argument that he was making. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I'm a Cambodian chick. I'm married to a white guy. But me and Jeremy, we have something similar. Okay, we're Americans. I'm Americanized. I'm Westernized. I don't necessarily hold any of Cambodian cultures and religious beliefs and customs anymore like I used to when I was younger, when I was around Cambodian people. I've assimilated into the Western culture. So for Isaac to make the argument that different cultures can coexist because of fucking food, that's stupid. That's the stupidest fucking argument that I've ever heard. And then James brought up about California. People are fleeing California. Isaac is saying, I am leaving California. And then James challenged Isaac and said, why do you think people are moving out of California to Texas? And then Isaac was like, Texas, socialism. I start laughing. I started fucking laughing at that part because I know it's mean. The socialism part, the socialism part made me laugh because I was like, Texas is not socialist. But but people explained to me that what Isaac meant was that California was socialist. So anyways. And I didn't get it. I didn't get why Isaac was upset. I didn't understand what made him like that, or what triggered him to talk to flip the fuck out like that. And it finally dawned to me that he never exposed himself to these ideas. Okay, and these people, they do exist with these ideas. They're going to talk about their culture is superior. It's not just Americans who do it. The Japanese does it. The Chinese does it. Okay, even the Khmer Rouge did it. So he lives in this bubble, this California bubble, and that's why he flipped the fuck out. And then James Jenko, he added, he said, well, they're moving to Texas because of the culture. And then Isaac was like, no, they're not, or blah, blah, blah. And I don't even know what happened. Okay. And so I think it's because of the fact that, he felt like he wasn't prepared. So he posted something on his podcast, The Daily Archetype. And he posted this, let me see, right here. He posted this right here. And he said, the Daily Archetype Propertarians cult Kool-Aid, warning, do not drink, trigger warnings. I don't know what the fuck that means. So, and I'm sorry for cussing too much, but that's just me, how I am. Okay? It's because, like I said, I'm very direct and blunt. And, cussing puts a lot of emphasis, but it's this whole thing that Isaac is doing. It's just drama. He's making drama for himself. He's sinking his own fucking ship. Okay? So, I like how he wrote on the show notes. He wrote, the main clip is a bonus from last year, and it was originally recorded on Boone's podcast, which is mine, by the way, the Far Out Wisdom podcast. If you're considering to accuse me of something I didn't say or do, please read first. And he shares the article of Rebel Wisdom. This was an interview with David Filler from Rebel Wisdom, where you can see Brandon doing exactly as we warn against drop buzzword, big names, say big sounding ideas, complain about something everyone can have issues with, like political liars, then insert fundamentalist ideology while denying it. They do the same thing even with themselves. It's the ideology that takes over, and they become only a conduit for that. This is the podcast they did that I took the clip from at the end of the bonus episode. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. You are free to view the cult information on their website about white separatism and other horror ideas I don't want to spend much more time on. April was discussing what the Propertarian lady did last summer, then caused them to start falling apart. Anyone in the conversation who hasn't got seduced has caught up onto their circular code language. It's hard to find the videos on YouTube about it because they get banned or shadow banned, but it was mainly this. Really? They're all there. I don't what the fuck you're talking about. The Propertarian Institute, all the information is all there. Their website, it's all there for you to see. Their resources, what they cite, everything that they say. I think it's like back to all the way to like 2006. I don't even know when the website was posted up. And then he goes, if you want to learn more about the sector ways of cult movement works, I recommend the short work by Carl Jung. Here's a couple of quotes from another important book on the subject. This is Rank's devastating Kierkegaardian conclusion. If neurosis is a sin and not disease, then the only thing we can cure is a worldview, some kind of affirmation collective ideology, in which a person can perform the living drama of his assumption as a creature. Only in this way can the neurotic come out of his isolation to become part of a larger, such a larger and higher wholesome as religion has always represented that. I don't even know. He goes on. I don't know who's going to fucking support his show. I mean, I sent him a donation, $25 to make him stop fucking complaining. So he does this shit. And I love it when he goes to make up his point from last year. He goes to hit that if you click that link, that goes to his podcast, well, my podcast episode where we talked last year. And so he's making an argument that he doesn't know who they are. He's, telling that they're white separatists, white nationalism, and stuff like that. Okay, let's play that game. Let's do that. So you're gonna freak the fuck out in the conversation discussion as a host. See, my problem, my issue with Isaac's behavior is that you play this game. You go on and you play this game right here, and you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna purge the Propertarians and stuff out from the Agora. What you need to do, if you say they're radical, let's put them on the platform so their ideas can be challenged. The Propertarians have no problem coming onto your platform and talking to you. If you want to talk to Brandon Hayes, talk to him. Book him onto your podcast. Challenge him. Don't play this fucking bullshit right here and saying, oh, they're Nazis and stuff like that. They're white separatists, white nationalists, and stuff like that. Prove to me. Go to their website and stuff and prove to me. It's not the fact that I'm rejecting your idea or your accusation or anything like that. It's because the fact that you don't have proof, then you don't have an argument. Okay? That's classical liberalism 101. I mean, you have to have the freedom of speech. If you take away their freedom of speech, you know what's going to fucking happen? You're going to radicalize them some more. Do you understand, Isaac? I don't know why he's doing this. It baffles my fucking brain. And the reason why he's doing this is because the fact that he made a goddamn fool of himself during that discussion. And to accuse James Jenko, out of all the people in our circle, of being a fascist and stuff like that, it's ridiculous. And even me, he even said it to me too, as well. Look, man, it happens. There was nothing wrong with the clip. I watched it 3 times and I came to the conclusion that you were being a fucking bitch near the end. You pulled people unnecessarily into the drama for no reason at all. And I'm making a video about this because the fact that people are waiting on the video so they can come to their own conclusion and verdict. And I don't give a shit. Okay? At this point, I don't give a shit. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm saving my own ass. Because the fact that I'm the one who shamed you out of all the circles that we're in. Okay? I called you out on your bullshit because you wouldn't shut the fuck up, Isaac. He wouldn't shut the fuck up. And so I shamed him for it because I'm moving. I have things going on. Brandon Hayes is a dad. James Jenko is a dad. We have family. We have jobs. And here you are crying because the fact that James Jenko fucking schooled your ass for 20 minutes in the last 20 minutes. And then you cut the fucking feed on top of that. You didn't even do an outro. You mute them. They didn't even talk about race one bit. They couldn't because you were the host and you were triggered by the conversation. If these people have these ideas that you think is very dangerous and radical, talk to them, my guy. It's not that hard, bro. We are in very troubling times. And I'm not saying this so we could, everybody can freak out. I'm not doomsdaying shit. What I'm trying to do is you're trying to negotiate with people that you don't really like and try to end this fucking culture or whatever is going because we're at war. Bad people exist. Okay? All this whole social justice warrior things, this cultural revolution, the American cultural revolution, it's happening at the moment. And even moderate leftists are starting to see it and they want to call it out. But you can't negotiate. You can't work. You have to work together, even if you disagree with each other. Like, I don't necessarily agree with Brandon on the Propertarian, okay, majority of the time. Okay, I'm not going to be part of the Propertarians. James Jenko's not part of the Propertarians, but we don't disrespect each other like that. You know why? It's because we are willing to negotiate because we're trying to prevent violence and a civil war to happen. So when you have people like Isaac from the Daily Archetype, who's a little fucking bitch, and I hate to say that word, I really hate to say it, but where I grew up, you call them out on their bullshit. And like I said, I'm going to make this video unlisted because I really don't want him to be embarrassed. I don't want to embarrass him. I hope he he sank his podcast career, unfortunately. And his friends told him, I told him, that day that he sent us the video and then I watched it, I told him, do an introduction on the video, say, hey, it got heated, it happens, and post a video. End of the day, it happens. But then when you go and you act like a fucking child and start saying, oh, these guys are like national communists. Oh my God, these guys are fucking fascists. And what, Isaac? And what? These groups exist in the world, my guy. You live in a very, very small world. He lives in a very small world. He's a Californian. These people can't fucking handle that. And I thank the gods every single day that I grew up around fascists, because I totally understand where they're coming from. I totally understand where the nationalists are coming from. I totally understand why the communists, why the communists do the things that they do. It's because it's just conflict. And we're trying to understand why. And the only way that we can do to understand the why, to understand the root, is to talk about it, is to negotiate. Okay? There are some people that you're going to come across that you don't even like their ideas. You think I like talking to a fucking Marxist? Okay? But I have to. I have to talk to a Marxist because I want to understand where they're coming from. And so I live around radical Khmer Rouge. And I hear them talk every single day about the struggle, about the conflict and stuff like that, because the fact that it was injustice against them, the system. So I totally understand where the Marxists are coming from. And even the fascists, when there's too much fucking chaos, when it swings too far to the left, it goes right back. Okay? That happens. And I don't understand why people don't see that. Like Isaac. So when you use your platform to post this fucking garbage right here, it's gonna make everything worse. Who the fuck are you to be the gatekeeper? This is why I've when I watched the video with David Filler and he was like, act like he's fucking superior than Brandon. You know what I mean? I hate people like that. I hate intellectuals and academics. They think they're better than everybody else. That's the sense that I get from the Daily Archetype, from Isaac from the Daily Archetype. And he sunk his own fucking ship, his own podcast career. And so I don't even know what the hell's going on with him. And I don't really care at this point. But I just want to make it clear that him and I, our relationship between us, me and Isaac, even though we do podcast episodes with each other, as friends, absolutely not. No. I think he's whiny. I think he's really whiny, annoying. Ugh. But that's just me. If you like Isaac, hang out with Isaac. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That's like going at a party. If you want to invite him. I don't give a shit. I don't want to get close to him because he disrespected me, stepped over my boundaries and my limitation last year, and I cut that. I'm not all about that, bro. Okay? I shut the door in front of him, and I said, go on, get. And that's me. That's my personal decision. That's my verdict. So I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from. And I know I come across like, oh, she shouldn't have done that. Well, I did. So, and I don't regret it one bit. I said what I said. And if you call yourself a classical liberal and you can't handle conversations like race, well, Isaac brought up about race. You can't handle the truth. Because I'm a very logical person in my brain. Even though I come across as emotional and stuff like that, really, logic always overrules my emotion. And so when you do this, and I mean, it's ridiculous. And I even told Isaac, do it again. Try again. It happens. Don't be rude. You know what I mean? Don't start doing all this crap right here. It's stupid. It makes you look really bad. And he hasn't posted a video. Everybody's waiting on the video right now to kind of understand what the hell happened. It's because it will make Isaac look bad. And I guarantee it, guys. I guarantee it's going to make Isaac look bad because he was the one who flipped out. You're the host. You're a podcast host. Okay? You should act better than that. So this is an unlisted video. And if you get a copy of this, it's because you were involved with this, you saw the video, or you asked for it. So, all right, guys. Peace out.